What's going on, you guys? City That's what's up, and today I'm bringing you guys a commentary on 2K13. Today we're going to be talking about the NBA playoffs, and I'm kind of rushing through this mainly because I've had to record this for like the 5th time. And the first 3 times it was just random stuff. Or the first time I think it was the microphone. The second time it froze. The third time I said the UM word. Oh, it was terrible. I had to re-record the whole thing, but it wasn't the whole thing. I think I did about 2 minutes into it. And then the 4th time it just happened was because of this damn thing freezing. So, main topic, NBA playoffs. Let's begin. So, my predictions go as followed. Golden State beats Spurs. This is all the West right now. Grizzlies beat Thunder. Miami Heat destroy Bulls. And Pacers beat Knicks. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give my reasons why. Grizzlies will destroy the Thunder because of the matchups down low. Marc Gasol and what do you call his name? Zach Randolph were phenomenal in this first game, even though they lost against the Thunder. It was only by 2 points. They've been phenomenal so far in the playoffs. Especially Marc Gasol, because he's going to be able to get all those high arc shots off. Next, let me think. Who did I say? Oh, yes. Golden State versus Spurs. This is going to be a pretty easy statement to say. Spurs are old. Golden State is young. Now, I know some people are going to be like, just because one team's older than the other doesn't completely mean that they don't stand a chance. And you guys are completely right about that. Problem is, Golden State will make, with the Spurs being so old, Golden State will probably make the Spurs faint. Now, the only reason why I'm saying this, they've got guards Stephen Curry, Jarrett Jack, Harrison Barnes, fresh out of the gate. And I mean, they'll probably have no problem probably getting rid of this series, and I'm just going to go ahead and say that mainly because of, the Spurs are old, Golden State knows what they're doing, and Stephen Curry is a complete monster when it comes down to shooting the ball. In my opinion, he would, if you put him next to LeBron standards, which we're about to cover next, he would probably be the second best player. I honestly thought he should have been MVP, because he carried that Golden State team all the way. Now, third matchup, Heat versus Bulls. I don't know if I even have to say anything. I think we're all going to go ahead and state that the Bulls will have no chance against the Heat unless some miracle happens, as in, let's say, LeBron ends up breaking his jaw and D-Wade ends up losing a toe. So I just remembered that I caught myself. I said UH, not UM. Just saying, because Troy pulled that bullshit a couple of videos ago. But, in my opinion, they will probably get rid, or not my opinion, everybody knows the Heat are going to get rid of the Bulls. Because Carlos Boozer is going to have a pretty good matchup, and Joakim Noah is going to have a pretty good matchup with Chris Bosh. But at this point, I think it's pretty obvious who's going to win. Next matchup, and final matchup, is Pacers versus Knicks. I'm going to go Pacers on this because the Pacers put a pretty good damn job against the Knicks, especially when defending Carmelo, because Melo had 5 fouls. Someone else got fouled out, I'm trying to remember. I think Paul George may have gotten fouled out. I'm not sure. But somehow the Knicks got fouled out. I think it was Tyson Chandler. And I think Amon Shepard got fouled out, if I'm correct. I watched the game, and it was pretty obvious. After a while, the Pacers just completely dominated the Knicks. When coming out the gate kind of late, they weren't doing as good as you'd think. But they did end up doing a pretty good job. And they ended up handling the Knicks. It got a little close at the end, but the Pacers were able to handle it. They had Paul George doing pretty good, but I think the thing that really let them win was that they shut Carmelo down. 5 fouls. Roy Hibbert was blocking nearly everything that went up in the paint. And so there was no chance of them going in defensively. And the problem with this is that when Melo puts up shots and just settles, the Knicks aren't going to be able to do anything because Melo's not really that pass-first guy. The team usually works out if Melo just shoots the ball. So, in my opinion, Pacers are going to win that. As for the conference, I'm going to say Golden State comes out of the West because if Golden State gets rid of the Spurs, is my prediction. The next two people, or next possibility, is probably going to be Oklahoma City or not going to be, I mean probably going to be. It's going to be either the Memphis Grizzlies or OKC. So if the Grizzlies end up winning, they're gonna be able to defend them in the paint. I don't think they're gonna have a problem in the paint. But no one's really gonna be able to guard Stephen Curry unless they switch the matchup to Tony Allen, which would probably end up screwing Stephen Curry over. But I think he'll probably be able to facilitate still. And Jarrett Jack, they've got the bench players like Harrison Barnes, who I actually think is a starter, so I probably shouldn't have said that, but they have the bench players for everything. And the next person, I didn't have my notes ready for this commentary, so I think that they're probably going to win against, they would probably win against the Grizzlies. Thunder, it's pretty obvious why. No Russell Westbrook, no one to guard Stephen Curry. And what happens if you can't guard Stephen Curry? Well, then you don't stand a damn chance. I mean, they could switch matchups onto Stephen Curry, but then someone else would be mismatched, or someone else would be having to worry about Stephen Curry way too much. So that's one of the problems. And then they have David Lee. So I'm going to say not Thunder, I'm sorry. Golden State will probably come out of the West. As for the East, I'm going to say Heat come out of the East, and we all probably know why. The Heat would probably end up beating the Knicks if they didn't get that bullshit that was pulled a couple of years ago, that 2011-2012 one when they faced that was the year when they had, not 2011-2012, 2010-2011 year when Mavericks won the championship. I think it was the first round and the Heat was pulling that bullshit out of a glass. That's what we'll call it. They were pulling bullshit out of a jar. They were just yanking it out. They just had some saved up from the regular season, and all of a sudden, they just stick their little window liquor hand in and just pulled a bunch of bullshit out of the jar. Because they were flopping like there was no tomorrow. I think that's the main reason why there's a flop rule now. Their flopping was absolutely terrible. And I think that the Heat would probably win that flat out just basically because that LeBron-Melo matchup would probably... That'd be weird, but then you have to deal with the Tyson Chandler and other stuff matchup. But the Knicks would probably be a pretty good matchup for them because they do have that backcourt that they need, and by backcourt I mean point guards, shooting guards. And the last but not least would probably be Pacers, they'd end up facing the Pacers. They'd probably end up beating the Pacers only because of that small forward matchup now. They'll probably have no problem doing that. But thank you guys for watching. Like if you did enjoy, comment as always just because I do like the feedback. And I will see you guys later. You guys watch the video. That's what's up. Deuces.
And talk about the confidence for Mark Jackson. You know, Steve, some would say overconfidence. Is that a good thing for a coach?
Well, I think your players have to believe in you if you're a coach. Kevin, so I think confidence is a good thing. And I thought Mark Jackson last year really kept his team playing hard through a difficult stretch when they had so many injuries at the end of the season. So it seems to me like the confidence and the approach and the balance that Jackson brought to the job bodes well for his future and that of the team.
The score now all even. Jack's got 5. This is the splitter. Curry with the steal. And up the court come the Warriors on the break. And laid in to finish the break.
I like the awareness they had there. Guys were headed out on the break the instant the steal was made. And they got the easy bucket because of it. Well, you know, the Spurs have been thinking about what's beyond the Tim Duncan era in the future. But Duncan keeps on ticking. I mean, he just keeps playing at a very high level. And as long as he does that, San Antonio will be tough to beat.
Now Curry. After Jackson's three-pointer that didn't go.